All right. So it's 6 o'clock by my clock. So I just want to welcome everyone to the City of Revere's Commission on Disabilities meeting for Tuesday, March 9th, 2021. We'll start with the salute of the flag. I have the trusty little American flag here, and I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first item on the agenda is a roll call of the members. Pauline, would you be willing to do that roll call?
Certainly will. So roll call of members: Ralph DeChico,
Present.
Enza Goodwin,
Present.
Asma Abu Fouda,
Present.
Jason Barone,
Present.
Robert Bent,
Is absent.
and Brian Vesey.
Is absent.
Okay, and Pauline Perno, I am here.
I hope so. Okay. So item 2, once again, was supposed to be the introduction of the new commission member, but this is his 4th meeting that he has now missed. I haven't gotten a response, so it's now tabled again. Item 3 on the agenda is the Commission on Disabilities vice chair position. It's not that we are looking for a new member. Basically, since Rick Frenny has left, it's been an open position for a vice chair to assist me, and Pauline has graciously been stepping in doing the job. But I wanted to see if I could have a commission member formally make a motion to make her the vice chair of the Commission on Disabilities.
I'd be happy to make that motion. I couldn't think of a better person, so motion to approve Pauline Perno as chair for the Commission on Disabilities.
Okay, and do I have a second on that?
Second.
And Jason seconded, and we'll do a roll call. Enza Goodwin,
Yes.
okay. Asma,
Yes.
Jason Barone,
Yes.
Pauline Perno. I hope you're saying yes yourself.
Yes, I am.
Okay, and Robert Bent gave me the okay. He was going in for a procedure. So Robert Bent can be marked as an affirmative for it, and myself, Ralph DeChico, in the affirmative, as Pauline is the vice chair, even though she's been doing it for the past several months anyway, but now she's officially going to be in that capacity. But welcome and thank you, Pauline, for agreeing to take that on. Even if you say no, you're still going to do it. You've been doing it. But thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay. The next item is item 4, updates and next steps from our February meeting. What we had for our last meeting for next steps, I tried to look back. I don't think we officially had any next steps. I was wondering if anybody was remembering anything, because I was looking at the notes and it didn't look like we had anything officially to carry over.
There was
for
not.
for
I went
next
back
steps.
and looked, and it was a lot of issues that could be revisited at potentially another time.
Yeah.
Or an update when they were as far as the playground,
Yeah.
that sort of thing, but nothing officially to next step it.
Yeah, the only thing is I'm going to probably be having some more meetings about the Ambrose Park fully inclusive playground that's going to be going in. They're going to be having neighborhood meetings. El Baker will be organizing neighborhood meetings. It's going to be different than it was in the past. In the past, they were live meetings. So she's going to probably have to do some Zoom meetings and do surveys. And she's going to also rely on trying to get communications out to members of CPAC, since it's going to help with those families. So she's going to want some input with those families there. So it's going to be basically going in the same footprint where the Ambrose Park playground is right now. So I haven't had a follow-up meeting since then. So we will be having an updated meeting soon. So hopefully I'll have some more information on that by the next meeting, or Pauline will have some more information by the next meeting on that. The that was the only thing that I had that was carried over from that. The next item was item 5, information. I attended a BCIL webinar. It was a 4-hour webinar. It was just a webinar on February 16th. It was information dealing with the Boston Commission of Independent Living hosted it. There was Secretary Sutters was on that meeting from the state, and it was basically different members of the disability community, Commission on Disabilities, voicing their concerns for residents with disabilities not being able to get vaccinated, and different issues with that. And at that time, it was the day before the formal announcement that they were lowering the age down to 65 and people with 2 comorbidities to be able to get vaccinated. So we were told ahead of time that news was going to be breaking the next day. So we had that meeting, and that's what that meeting was geared toward. So I just wanted to let you know that was a webinar that I attended on February 16th. There was I can't even remember how many people were on it, but it was more than a few hundred people that were on that. It was expanded more than 100 Zoom participants, so they had a much wider Zoom capacity to be onto that meeting. So it was very informative, and they heard all the concerns from people in the disability community, that it was a demographic that needed to be heard in the issues with people with disabilities and mobility issues, to be able to get vaccinated. And hopefully within the next week or 2, maybe there'll be some more news coming out from the state regarding that. I don't know if anybody had any questions on that, or
Well, I have some concerns, Ralph, that they really didn't think about that part of it.
no, they didn't. And that was one of the concerns that was brought to their attention.
I mean, a good example, and my mom brought it up today. She wrote to my doctor, they're so worried about the CDC guidelines, except what they're not thinking is, blind folks or people in wheelchairs or anything.
Mhm.
And when they come out with these lists, they're not thinking it all the way through.
Right.
And so the problem with that is it's got doctors like not thinking everything. And so when you go to your doctor, you say, hey, and they're like, well, you don't meet this. And, they were just, I don't know. It was almost like no real thought put together with that. And it's, it's concerning. And that website has crashed more than once. My mom's been trying to help me with it.
Yeah.
It is crashed. It is. And in the last week, there was only 12,000 appointments added. And they went in minutes, like concert tickets.
What you can also do too is you can call the city Revere's hotline, and they can help you try and guide you to make an appointment. I believe it's the 286-8212 number. Ozma, am I correct on that phone number?
Yes, 781-284-8182.
Is it 8182?
Yeah.
And they can help guide you through. They're doing it for people with disabilities, for seniors, to help them guide it through trying to help them set up appointments.
Even the one who don't have access to the computer, because to make an appointment you have to go through some questions, so we can help you with that. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'd like to be able to take the train. I just can't do any of that without that right now, and so it's stopping me. So I can only imagine the people that don't even have this ability to talk to anybody right now, and they're probably alone. Scared.
There's other things that I'm working on too, Jason, that I can't announce yet.
Yeah,
no,
anyway. I got you. And I saw that.
Okay.
We can chat about that offline. I saw you.
Yeah. Any other questions or concerns on that? Next is item 6 was the Code of the Commission of Disabilities Alliance. which was the monthly conference call on last Wednesday, February 3rd. This month's call basically tailored around one specific commission, just asking some questions on setting up again, and it was another quick meeting this month. I think that a lot of the people are just their main concerns is the vaccines and trying to get people vaccinated. So we really haven't had an official agenda on that, and a lot of the commissions are trying. We've been meeting on those other calls, trying to get information and making it going to the state to let our voices heard, that we need vaccines for the demographics that we represent. The item 7 on here is, I'm going to turn that over to Enza.
So CPAC currently does not have a meeting scheduled.
No, you dropped out. Yeah, you dropped out again. Sometimes if you try shutting your camera off for a minute and see if your voice comes back. No sound from you.
What about now?
Yep.
So we currently do not have a meeting scheduled for March, and the reason for that is with the sudden return to school, which I'm excited to say that my son is back in school. We wanted to wait and offer the residents an open forum meeting later in the month. So we are in the works right now to plan an open forum meeting for parents with children with special needs. So we should know something more definitive soon. Other things that we're working on currently is partnering up with Revere Parks and Rec for Autism Awareness Month. We're trying to figure out what we can do throughout the city to spread awareness like we normally would do, but obviously on a much smaller scale. And then we're also working with the rec department to get Special Olympics back into Revere, as well as thinking about what our summer programming is going to be. So we are starting to kind of look past what this year has been like and trying to get some events going for our families.
Okay, so next month we may have some dates or whatnot, or
so there should be a March meeting definitely taking place for CPAC for our parents, but we just don't know it at this time. But there'll definitely be events and things going on in March. I'm sorry, in April as well.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions or any questions on that, or?
No, just a thought when you were saying about the autism awareness. It's too bad you couldn't almost do like some sort of a walk on, the beach, almost like the virtual walks that a lot of the organizations are doing. I know that you can't do because of the limitations of inside and everything, and where April is so unsure weather-wise, unfortunately, but it's too bad that there couldn't be something outdoors that's spread out that could be monitored, socially distanced, and maybe time staggered so that there could be events. It was just a thought. I've been getting a lot of mailings about things that were taking place outdoors, that things are being staggered as far as walks and support systems. So it was just a thought.
No, it's definitely a good idea. Currently the rec department, along with CPAC, is thinking in terms of, how do I want to phrase it? Not pressuring folks into feeling like they have to commit, whether it's time or whether it's financial. If you guys remember, we've always done huge fundraisers for the month of April. We've been blessed to have generally raised anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 over the past few years. So we're trying at this point to just maybe take a step back, acknowledge it, bring awareness, but maybe not pressure anyone into feeling like they have to commit at this time.
True.
Anyone else have any other questions?
No, about the Wellness Day, the Autism Day, I was thinking if we can do something through the Revere TV actually, the Revere TV is always like cooperated with us. So if you can ask them.
So we're waiting for approval from the mayor's office. We are looking at April 2nd as being the day that we are going to kind of celebrate, if you will, Autism Awareness Day, but we're still waiting to get everything finalized through the city.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. The item number 8 is I actually attended another seminar on it was virtual, of course. It was the 6th annual Disability Summit. It was virtually this year. It was last Thursday, March 4th. This one was a 4-hour webinar. It was done by the MOD, and there was various agencies there. I'll go through a list of different agencies that were there and had discussions. One of the topics was assistive technology works resources in the workplace, which was discussed by Mass Match, which is an organization that helps bring technology equipment to disabled residents. What they do is they do it as a loaner program for you to try out before you purchase it, and it's at low cost after if you end up wanting to purchase it. I don't know if Jason, if you've ever had any dealings with Mass Match at all.
No.
Okay.
I've ended up either having to buy stuff myself or the state will issue it.
Okay.
Or federally. I've never had a chance to play with it. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's a company called Mass Match. And
I'll check it out.
yeah, they have a website. I could also, what I could do is I could forward you the slideshow of the webinar with information on it. I could send that to anybody that wants it. Also, they had the Massachusetts Rehabilitation Commission had a presentation about vocational rehabilitation services in the virtual environment, which helps people adapt with being able to work virtually that have disabilities. So that was pretty interesting. So it was the area director from the Roxbury area who did a presentation. Then there was the assistant director for training and communications from the MOD gave us the agency updates and overview of the work during 2020, which was a challenging year due to the pandemic, and with their full shift to virtual almost everything. So they had some talks on that, and then they had an ADA trainer, and information outreach specialists from New England ADA Center, who was given an overview about the ADA and in relationships to COVID-19. And they had a couple of different people from there. And then we had Independent Associates had given a presentation also for independent living programs and work that they do. Then we had, there was the National Black Disability Coalition gave a presentation also. And then there was, I'm trying to see, the director of the Disability Access and Awareness at the Spalding Rehabilitation Network gave a presentation on promoting health during the global pandemic, which focused on physical activity and health equity for the disabled community. And then I have a list of all the different presenters that were on this with different backgrounds on all the presenters, what their bios were. Like I said, it was a 4-hour presentation that I was on. It was via Zoom. Usually they have their summits live and in person at a convention center or whatnot, but of course this year they had a focus to a virtual, which was well done. it is tough to try and stay focused during a computer, doing it with other things that you have to do during the day. But it was pretty interesting. So I just want to let you know I did that, but I will email everybody. I have the slideshow presentation that I will email all of you. I didn't want to send it to you before I talked what it is that was coming. So after this meeting, I'll email you all the slideshow presentation on it.
Great.
That will be more of a resource for you. So any questions on that? Probably once you see it, you might have some questions, or you can email me or whatnot on that. Item number 8 is any commission members late items. If any commission member has any items or anything that they'd like to discuss or talk or mention, give you the opportunity to bring that up or anything for that matter.
I just wanted to mention as a note of interest, I've been walking my neighborhood with my new puppy. A reminder for all residents, whether you have on-street parking, off-street, driveway, whatever, it's really important to remember that cars should be pulled in as far in as that they can be. I've had several instances where I've been forced out into the street because there are cars overhanging driveways onto sidewalks. It's, today it was not bad, but on the days that it was snowy and icy, that does become an issue. And it's also illegal to be blocking the sidewalks. So,
Yep.
For anyone who's wondering, how should they park? And the people that I've looked at, I actually approached one of them and their answer was, well, it's my property. And I said, well, the sidewalk is not clearly your property. It's so that people can pass. I'm able-bodied as far as, walking, but struggling with a puppy who's decided that she's going to pull me the whole entire way does become an issue. And it is a reminder.
And the other
Be
thing be
cognizant
like,
of the fact that cars overhanging,
Yeah.
and it is a problem, and it needs to increased awareness, I guess, is what I'm getting at.
and Jason can talk on that too, because this is something that's not supposed to be there and it's not on ground level and it protrudes up higher. You're not going to realize that it's there. It's an obstruction and can cause serious injuries.
Exactly. I've almost run into a car. I almost got hit by one coming out. They just they're not paying attention. I've been forced into the street on many occasions.
Right.
And, it's getting dangerous, Ralph. I mean, honestly, the parking issue really around here. I mean, I've had people park on that corner over by where the nail salon is and across from the laundromat. And they sit there with their car and it's a real issue. It's just people just are not even cautious to any of that. I've had them pull out of the streets.
There's no awareness. It's like they can't see past that piece. And it is becoming more and more of an issue. It's one thing, we've talked about parking in the past, especially around the T stations and accessibility around the T stations. But now we're overflowing off of Broadway. We're overflowing into smaller neighborhoods where there are children, there are elderly people. I saw a woman try to get across. It was trying to get through and onto her driveway, and somebody was parked in the way, and she was on a walker getting off of a T-ride. And it's like, how can you navigate all of this? And again, it was clear today and yesterday. So we're not even addressing the fact that we're not even done with winter, unfortunately. Maybe I'd like to believe we are, but this is going to become more and more and more of an issue, and especially where you have more people with apartments, more people living there, more cars, and just how, this may have to proceed in the future. So I think it's something that everyone needs to be cognizant, aware of, and, just take an extra note when you are walking, when you are trying to cross. So.
Exactly. Thank you for making that point. That's one thing that we've always tried stressing. And then you have the people that sometimes are sitting in their cars, hanging out of a driveway, or sitting in their cars, parking on a sidewalk, saying, well, I'm in the vehicle. that really doesn't matter if you are in a ladder spot of a handicap parking spot in the laddered spot. Well, I'm sitting in the vehicle. It really doesn't matter. Somebody, it's illegal. It's illegal. It's illegal, whether you're in the car or not.
That's right.
So it's just something that needs to start being enforced. And it's not only a matter of enforcement, it's a matter of people having the respect to do the thing the right way.
Mm-hmm.
It's proper. It's the proper way to do things. It's the right way. The disabled community is a forgotten community, and they have every equal right to be able to enjoy the everyday amenities that everybody else has. And by an able-bodied person walking will be able to see a car protruding out of a driveway that's not supposed to be there, but a person is visually impaired or a person in a wheelchair or a walker cannot get by with the vehicle there or whatnot, and they shouldn't have to. A sidewalk is meant for a sidewalk. A street is meant for a vehicle, and a driveway is meant for a vehicle, not a sidewalk.
Right.
Right. It's definitely a problem, and especially at night when it gets even more difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because we don't have enough lighting. I wish the city had more, but
No, the lighting is definitely an issue everywhere. It's not just in the smaller neighborhoods or downtown or by the it's everywhere. There, I drive around some nights and I'll say to myself, it seems darker than usual.
Mhm.
And I guess maybe as I'm getting older, I mean, we all are, but I'm seeing things differently. Things that maybe 10 years ago I wasn't aware of, but I do see it differently. And it's going to have to become one of those things that becomes revisited again as we get into, daylight savings time next weekend.
The
and
nicer
then
weather.
The nicer weather, and as restrictions are lifted, as people are out more and kids are out more and everybody's out more. So you're looking at all the populations taking advantage of all of those things. And so I think that we will have to end up revisiting this again. And maybe if the police chief does end up coming to one of our commission meetings, it would be something to bring up at that point.
Yeah, definitely. Anyone else have anything either on that or anything else that they'd like to talk about or discuss? Or okay. So there are no residents in the waiting room or attendees on there that I'm looking at. As always, we ask that if anybody has any questions or concerns, you could email us if you don't want to be on the meeting, and we could take it up that way. Before I do the reminders, one thing that I'm going to ask, I just want to make sure that everybody has tried contacting our IT department to get your city emails up and running. If you don't have a city email, because as a commission member, we have to start using city email addresses. So it's the IT help desk. If you still need that, please let me know. Now that Pauline, especially that you're in the vice chair position.
I found out why it got.
You found, yeah, did it expired?
No, in my school one, everything
Oh,
got
okay.
wiped out. So
Okay.
I'll contact them to get that reinstated.
Okay, all right. Because yeah, we want to try and use the IT. Enza, yours, I send yours to that one anyway. I sent it to both just to make sure, but you don't have the.
Yeah, I have the city one and mine's all set.
So the city one is back up. You have the school one or the commission one?
No, I have all three. I have my personal, I have my school email, and I have the city, and I'm all set. So I have it all along.
Okay, so I'll just, from now on, when I send out the communications, I can just send it to the revere.org one.
You can, if you don't, if you're doing multiple.
For the Zoom, well, yeah, for the Zoom ones, I'll send it just to that one.
Send it to, if you can, send it to my personal, because I don't have the.
You don't have access to it.
Correct, yep.
Okay. And I know Asma has it already.
Yes, yeah, I have.
Yeah, and I've told Robert several times. And the email, everybody saw the email, the notes that I put in the email about commission members needing to attend these meetings. Pauline, me and you will talk offline on what I want to see if you'll be able to help me with now that we'll have you officially as the vice chair, so that I'll have it'll be more efficient for us and get some more things done. And as the weather gets better, hopefully we'll be able to do delegate a few more issues. One thing that I want to try and not do, so that because sometimes I forget to do it, is the agenda. And I keep asking, nobody wants to send me anything to put on the agenda. So my agendas have been pretty boring. So, you know, I need some issues to bring up, some things that people want to discuss. Anytime we want to discuss something, we put it right on the agenda. So it doesn't have to come up as a late item. And the thing that I need is I just need everything by midday, the Wednesday before, the week before our meeting. Because of the open meeting laws, I have to have everything done and sent to the city clerk by the Friday morning at the latest, but I try and get it to them by the Thursday because it has to get posted 48 hours, business hours. So for instance, we close on Fridays early. That alleviates some time. So that's why I like to try and get it to her by, late Thursday, so that everything can get posted on time.
Okay. Well, I'll need that phone number to call the help desk because I don't have the email.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it's all by email. So yeah. I'll email you that link right after this meeting on who you have to contact to set you up with a city email address.
Okay.
And we'll do that.
So I wanted to mention something. So like a couple of parents had mentioned to me that they are glad that their children are returning back to school. However, they are wondering if there is any plan by the district to include the student on IEP who are not on autism program to be welcome into the summer program.
That's what we're waiting to hear from that grant. Remember, Enzer, I've asked a few times because there's a grant that it's supposed to be children with IEPs and special education. There's that grant that's supposed to be extended for summer learning. Yeah. So that's part of the grant from the state, and there's supposed to be a few more things that they're supposed to be doing for the summertime. And only from hearing, it is not only going to be extra opportunities for those students during the summer, but it's supposed to also be getting extended into the next school year. Enzer, I'm correct on that, right? You know a lot more than me on that, but from what I'm hearing, it's also going to be extended into next year.
Yeah, so I think what the plan is going to be is that at this point, the district intends on providing, of course, summer school for students that are in substantially separate classrooms. But in addition to that, I think citywide, the district providing grants and funding, they're looking to get as many students back into the classroom during the summer as they can accommodate. So I foresee lots of different programs being offered and run this summer. Again, providing we continue in the right direction and we get the grants and the funding that we're expecting. But I would, Asma, what I would recommend is anyone that you speak to, if they have concerns, if their child is on an IEP, they should at this point be reaching out to their educational liaison from their building. They should be reaching out to the assistant principal and the principal. I would, if I was a parent and as a parent of a child with special needs, I would not hesitate or wait. I would say
don't wait.
Now.
Yeah, don't wait to hear from them.
Yeah.
Yes, right. Yeah. Because some of the parents, they don't, their children, they don't have a summer school in the IB. And last year, actually, they didn't was qualify for any summer school. So, but they missed a lot since the pandemic happened. So
This year is going to be a lot different because there's going to be a lot more, not only state, but federally funded programs that are going to be, that are going to need to be available. And I foresee it being a lot longer than the summer and the next school year. I see it going into next summer too, with these programs.
That's great. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions by anyone or concerns? All right. So, Pauline,
Yeah,
as the new vice chair, would you like to read item number 11?
I would love to. Item number 11, as your reminder, the Commission on Disabilities due to COVID-19 and the safety of all residents is trying to limit in-person appointments due to the unavailability and use at our present office location. Residents can speak to staff from our 311 Constituent Service Center Monday through Friday when you call our office at 781-286-8267. They will be able to answer most questions, but if they are unable to, or if you would like a call back from our office, please ask to be transferred to the Disability Office's voicemail and someone will get back to you as soon as possible. We are working on solidifying another temporary location for our office for necessary in-person appointments determined by the Council on Disabilities on Friday mornings. We will update this information when available on the City of Revere's website disability page. As always, please let us know if you would like something discussed or brought up and added to our monthly meeting agenda. You can let us know if you would like to speak on any issue or concern. The Commission is here to help and assist all the disabled residents and families of Revere.
Thank you. So as for next steps, we don't have any next steps carrying over to next month's meeting. Or the only next step that I have that's not carried over to the meeting is I'm going to send out the information from the MOD's Disability Summit from the that I attended. So I will send out that slideshow to everyone so that you have it, so that you can take a look at it. And I believe that's all I have for next steps right now. If I get any other information or anything happens from now to the next meeting, I will email the members and let you know if anything is going on. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Jason makes the motion to adjourn and second by
Motion.
Asma. Okay, our next meeting will be Tuesday, April 13th, 2021 at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Please stay safe. If you've been vaccinated, please remember to still wear your mask and please still get tested. Even if you got your vaccines, you still should get tested. It doesn't mean not to get tested. So that's
Perfect.
my public address announcement.